Hello everybody and welcome to SkySaga Alpha 5. That's right, we are here in Alpha 5. Alpha 5 has been released and it is time to have a look at the tutorial and at just kind of getting the game up and running and getting started. So this is going to be the first episode for this whole series, which will run for the entire course of Alpha 5. And hopefully with the changes that have been made to Alpha 5 we can do some really big things during Alpha 5. So this here is the first screen you'll ever see once you start up Alpha 5, and it is the character customization screen. So right now there are 4 tribes. The monkeys are the newest tribe that we've added into the game. As with all of them, there is male and female, and each of the old tribes have actually got a new hairstyle, or a couple of new hairstyles. So the cats get this kind of like, or the male cats get this kind of like emo hairstyle thing going on. That's, I think, the best way I could describe that. It's very kind of boy bandy, I think. And then if we go over to the females, I don't really know which one of these is new, but one of them is. That one was in there last time. I think it is in fact this guy here, the little ponytail on top. We go over to the humans. We've got a whole bunch of hairstyles in here as well. I think this one is the new hairstyle for Alpha 5. As I'm pretty sure I've seen the rest of these before. And then we go back to the guys, and the guys have... Where's the new hairstyle? Here we go, the surfer dude coming through there. If we get the blonde surfer dude look going. Then the lizards, the male lizards now have this hairstyle, which I find very kind of like Viking horns. Even though Vikings didn't technically have horns, these are still kind of reminiscent of what they've become. So I like those a lot, and I think I'm probably going to take that. There's also, all of the old ones that we had before, and I think this guy might be new as well. Let's take a look at the back. Yeah, I think that one might be new as well, but I'm going to head over, and I'm actually going to go the lizard with the Viking horns. I'll just quickly jump you through the monkey stuff as well. So the monkeys have some quite interesting hairstyles going on. They've all got these kind of huge sideburns down the side, which I think is quite funny, personally. And then, yeah, sideburns and a mohawk. Very stylish. Very stylish. And then if we go over and have a look at the females, we've got another kind of messy hairdo. Got some very interesting looking stuff coming through with the monkeys here, I think. But I like the lizard race, personally, so I'm definitely going to go back to the lizard race. There's only one race that is potentially going to come out that will change my decision, and that is the stone golem race that is seen in the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, I'll throw a link to that in the description. And yeah, in there is a stone golem race. Once that comes out, that is definitely going to be my character of choice. I'm just going to quickly flick through these because I've just realized I haven't actually done these either. I haven't looked at the hairstyles for the female lizards for quite some time. So there you go. That is all of those. I'm going to start up my character. We get to actually choose our home island. So we're going to go the right skin tone. Okay, so that's it. That is my character up and running, ready to go. This is me for the entirety of Alpha 5. Now, the new thing to Alpha 5 is you get to choose which home island you go into. Now, as you can see, there is no jungle biome choice at this point in time. You've only got the 3 islands that were around back in the last alpha. However, I am quite partial to the desert, so I'm going to set the desert up as my home island. There's some new interesting things going on in this alpha that mean that I'm actually probably not going to build too much on my home island, but we'll talk about all of that once we kind of pass through the tutorial and get out into the social hub. There's lots of big changes there as well, but once again, we'll talk about all that stuff when we get there. So I'll see you on my desert island. So here we are on the desert island, and we have crashed as we always have when we start up this game. So the spawns of the floating islands aren't too bad. There's a couple here and one up there, and it's not too bad. I think I can live with that quite well. So we're just going to follow through the tutorial here. We need to collect up a few sharp rocks. We're going to need to break down some trees and get going, build some pickaxes up, and start work. So I'm actually going to... Well, these are quite big, so I'm going to choose the smallest one because I don't really like leaving trees just kind of half floating there if I can help it. So I take this guy down and build up the stone pickaxes. So a lot of you guys have kind of seen this before. If you saw Alpha 4, the start of this thing is very, very similar to the last one. There are just a few kind of tweaks and changes that have happened. But all of this stuff is very, very similar. The first little bit, you've always got to come in and make your pickaxes up, and then go down into the basement and have a look down in there. So, got our 2 pickaxes crafted because I'm going to go for both of them. Now this is another new thing. You can see that we've actually got a bar now underneath our stone pickaxes, and the stone pickaxes don't stack anymore. This is because the pickaxes actually have durability nowadays, which means that you can't just use them forever. And this is the same with all crude tools. All crude tools now have a durability on them, which really, personally, I don't like all that much, but I can see why they've done it, because they were a little bit cheaty, let's be honest. So here we are down underneath, and as you can see, some things have changed. We've now got a whole bunch of keystones stacked up over here, and we've got a whole bunch of iron over here. I'm just going to make up a torch real quick so that we can actually see what I'm doing, and then we can have a bit of a look around here. The other thing that you may have noticed as I came in is that the keystone oven is actually ready to go. Look at this. It is up and running. I don't actually need to make anything to get the keystone up and going. And as you can see from the side there, all I need to do is mine out some keystone fragments. In Alpha 4, you needed to mine out some iron and actually repair that oven and get going. Which, I'm not sure that I like this as a change to the tutorial. I mean, it does make the tutorial simpler and get it out of the way quicker, but it does mean that people don't know where they're crafting all of their metals and stuff from. But you guys know me. If you watch me through Alpha 4, you know that I am not going to leave this like this at all. I'm going to now go and clear out both sides here, and I'm going to collect up all of the resources in that, clean up the back wall, and then we'll come back together when I start making keystones and move on with the tutorial. And here we go. I've started cleaning out this place pretty well now. So I've left a couple of things in around here. I've left all of the glowing mushrooms in, just so that I've got a little bit of light. It seems I've left a little bit of iron up in there. I'll grab that after I stop recording this time. But I've also left in these things because I wanted to show you this. So these little stone stacks that you used to be able to hit to get purple stone, you can now actually pick up because they are actually a decor item now. So you can pick them up and put them wherever you like. So I'm going to put a couple down in here just to show you that they are indeed placeable. So that's it. Now the other thing is, if you have a look in here, I've got 118 sky iron and 119 green keystone fragments. Now this is randomized, so the values that you get for these things will be a little bit different to what I've got, but what you can expect is a relatively high number of both of those things. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get out a forge, and we're going to start actually crafting some stuff up, because I don't want to go on my first adventure without some stuff. I want to have a couple of swords and maybe a couple of pickaxes. It depends. I'm not sure how far I can stretch my ore here, but we're going to do the swords first, and then we'll get some pickaxes going. So I've just built up a forge. Now for those people who don't know how to do that, it's just in the handcrafting, in devices, and stone forge, and you just flick some stone across there and you can build up a forge, no problem. So I'm going to place mine down just out here for the moment. I just want to keep everything kind of off these walls until I can fill out all of these, which I'll do later on after I get back from adventuring. I don't really want to spend time doing that while I'm still in tutorial mode. So in the forge, what I want to do is I want to build up some metal plate. So you need 6 for a sword and also for a pickaxe, so that is just enough for one of those. Now I'm actually going to throw out a couple more forges just to make this whole process a lot easier. I also need to build up a anvil that I can actually make all of my swords and stuff with. So to get those, you can see here, I need some metal weights. So I think that's the next thing I want to do on this forge, is to make up some metal weights. Now I'm just going to sit here, I'm going to craft up the anvil, I'm going to craft up a whole bunch of metal plate, and then once all of that stuff is done, we'll come back together as I'm about to keep going with this quest. I'm going to, once I have the anvil set up and some stuff ready to go, I'll show you the start of the crafting session, and then we'll continue on from there. Here we go. I now have all the materials I need to get this stuff crafted up. So I'm actually going to only do the 2 pickaxes. Oh, and I've done 3 pickaxes, and this is a problem because I now actually can't remove that final pickaxe from this crafting queue, but that is okay. This is the danger of rapidly clicking away at things, I guess. So I'm going to let these pickaxes craft up. I'm going to craft up 1 sword. I do have enough stuff to craft up more, but I think I'm just going to leave it at 2 pickaxes and a sword for now, because the first adventure really isn't all that hard. I shouldn't really need too much more than that. So I'm actually going to continue with the tutorial while these pickaxes are crafting up. So the next thing we need to do is craft up a keystone fragment, keystone fragments into a light green keystone. Now, there is a chest over here. It did come with nothing in it, but that's okay because we're actually going to use this to store all of the excess materials that I don't actually need for right now. So I'm just going to get rid of a little bit of this stuff. And then, once all of this stuff is crafted up, I will come back and we'll jump through this portal. Okay, so the sword is now done. I'm only going to do up 1 sword just for this adventure, I think. And I'm going to leave a little bit of space clean. I've got my hotbar set up the way I like it. I am still just going to hold on to the stone pickaxes for now. They'll probably disappear after we finish the tutorial, I think, because there's no point having them once you've got enough iron to keep going and keep making actual metal pickaxes. Another little thing I'll just quickly mention is that I always keep all of my adventuring gear down towards the bottom of my rucksack. That's because anything along the top is where things get taken from and put back to when you use them or when you pick them up out of somewhere. So if you keep all your adventuring tools at the bottom, anything that you pick up in an adventure is going to go in amongst the top here and not actually mix in with your tools too much, which is really nice because if you accidentally pick up somebody's sword, then you know exactly which one is theirs because it will come up near the top and not down near the bottom. Anyway, that's enough of that type of stuff. I think it's time to get on with an adventure. So we did just a little bit more tidying up around here while I was waiting for this stuff to happen. I actually managed to make it up to Slattler rank 1, but I'm not going to check my mailbox for that right now. We're going to head out into this first adventure and I will see you there. So, here we are out in our very first adventure in Alpha 5. So, this is the Glade adventure, which some of you might know about from Alpha 4. It's pretty simple. It's not exactly a complicated map. It doesn't look like this map is very big either, which means we're probably not going to see any side quests on this map. Now, this is a new thing to Alpha 5. The wolf pups from Alpha 4 are now renamed whelps, which I think actually quite kind of fits them nicely. So then in here, this is the ruins from Alpha 4, but it's had a huge overhaul. As you can see, it looks a lot better than the ruins that happened in Alpha 4. Not that those didn't look good, but these look amazing, I think. And the addition of these vines is really awesome. The only problem is you can't actually get these vines. The minute you start breaking things, the vines just disappear. So I need to collect up some crystals to rebuild my airship, as with the last alpha. So let's just quickly collect up 3 of those so we can move on with this quest and finish up this tutorial, I think. So this is another brand new thing for Alpha 5, is stairs, which I think is really cool because they don't have quite the same jerky animation that you get when you go up a normal block, which is really awesome. So definitely going to be playing around with those during this season and also doing up some tutorials for them, hopefully. Let's go out here and kill this whelp off. Just like that. So it's pretty easy to kill things when you have a sword in here. I mean, if you followed the tutorial straight along as per just what they say, you would probably end up in here with just some stone pickaxes. And there's a couple of wolves in here, so it may not be the best, but I'm going to try and kill these guys off with just stone pickaxes to see how well this goes for me. So I've taken a little bit of damage already, as you can see, and I've destroyed the stairs. Whoops. But as you can see, I'm still doing a lot more damage than I'm taking, even using these stone pickaxes. So you can get by this part just fine using stone pickaxes. So unless you're like me and just like to get everything perfectly prepared and ready to go before coming out into an adventure, you can just run this straight away, no problems. I've done this now a couple of times, the tutorial, because of course I have the SheepBall Island and all that kind of stuff, and it seems like I've got this exact adventure every time that I've done that. So I'm not sure if that's something in the game code or if I've just got really lucky. Either way, it looks like you can just get away with stone pickaxes. So this is the other interesting thing, is the portals now change color depending on where you're going to go to. So we're heading back to my home island, and so the portal is orange, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to see you over there. So here we are, and we're just going to quickly check what I got for my settlers level up here. Not too bad. We've got a home island scroll and a few other bits and pieces. It's going to be nice. I'm going to use this home island scroll right now because I really don't like the crash site as a title deed. So that's it. Now I need to go up and repair the airship. So you guys have probably seen this being done before, especially if you've played SkySaga before, because it's just the same thing. Just throwing the crystals in there, and we get an airship. Once this airship is up, we can have a look at the social menu. Now, the social menu is where the old friends menu is, so you just hit F to get there. But as you can see, we've got a whole lot of stuff going on here now. So in the profile here, we've got friends and following, which is something I really want to talk to you about. So followers and friends and following are two completely different things. So followers are when somebody has sent a friend request to you. They can see you and they can see all of your home islands and stuff. And then friends and following is when you follow them back. Now it takes a friend to be able to give build permissions to somebody. Now the other thing is that how you do all of that type of stuff is through the profile page over here. So if I click on Brownie Pie, we can see her profile. You can see that she is my friend. So this means that I can give her build permissions and things. So I can say, give build permissions to Brownie Pie. Now, this does mean that she's going to get build permissions, but there's another thing here, which is you can have multiple islands in this thing. So if I go back to my own profile, which I'm not quite sure how we do that, close, go back to my own home profile, here we go, go onto my islands. As you can see, I've only got one right now, but if I go to information, I can allow friends to edit. Now, when I click this, anybody that I've given build permissions to can come onto this island and they can build things. So now, Brownie Pie, if you're out there and you're watching this, you have build permissions on my island. Go nuts. And yeah, so this is how you do this and how you give build permissions to people. Now, the extra island stuff we'll talk a little bit more about once we get over to the social hub, because there's a little new trader over there that you can buy new islands from, which I really, really like. So for now, I'm going to head over to the social hub. Now, the social hub will always be in your favorites, as will your home island. And then any other islands that you like, you can favorite and you can follow, you can go to them at any time. So if I go back to Brownie Pie, go to her islands, I can then favorite her treehouse. And if I now go to my favorite places, we've got Brownie Pie's treehouse, and now I can go there at any time just by hitting F and then hitting go to there. So right now we're going to head over to the social hub. Here we are at the social hub. So as you can see, big changes have been made. If I pull up the map, we're standing on a new little platform. There used to be a little run out here towards some airships, but now we've just got this tiny little platform. The Gladiators Guild is still there, Settlers Guild is still there, Explorers Guild is still here, but now we have an extra ship going on here and an extra merchant, which is exactly what I was talking about before. So while my tutorial is telling me to go up to the Explorers Guild, we're actually going to go check out this new airship over here right now. And the other thing you can see is that we've got new little bits and pieces around, and we've got some big portrait looking things which are really cool. Now, other than the ones over there, these often have people's islands and stuff that you can go and have a look at. So if you come up to one of these things, you can then hit F and you can see Kia Spartan, and we can type that in somewhere here and we can go and follow Kia Spartan, and then we could actually go and jump over to this island and see this thing, which is really cool. I like that a lot. It means that you've got islands that you can go and have a look at all the time. Even if you've seen all of your friends' islands and stuff and you're running out of stuff to do, you can come in here, you can find islands like this amazing one by Aura Borealis, and you can go and check those things out. You can get inspired to go and see other people's island. So here we go. the new island trader. So if we go and have a look in here, there's a whole bunch of islands that you can come in here and buy. And as you can see, I am way too poor to be looking in this thing at the moment. But that's okay, we are going to come back here and we're going to buy a whole bunch of home islands over the course of this series, because that's what I want to do this series. I want to have a whole bunch of home islands, and I'm going to try and focus on doing kind of rapid home island build. So I want to buy a home island and then within a couple of episodes have it ready and finished and publish it so that you guys can come along and check it out and give me suggestions. And then we might go back to each of the home islands and kind of implement some of the suggestions that you guys talk about. But that's further down the track, so we'll work on that when we get there. So I'm going to take all of these quests here. So you might have seen that in amongst these quests we had one that says talk to Valial. No, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name, but the demanding. So this is another new thing that is going on in the social hub. So I'll show you that on our way through to the Explorer's Quest. Now, the other thing you may have noticed is that all of the traders and everything have their own unique names, which I really quite like. So once again, some of these names I'm really not going to be able to pronounce, but they're all here for you guys and you can have a look at those. So if we head up through here, we've got another new ship at the back here. Now this one here is where we needed to go for this quest. So if we go and talk to her, this is community quests. So community quests are things that the community work together on. So in this case, we're after 200,000 bone fragments. Now, if I go up and have a look at the leaderboard behind her, you can see that there's a whole list of people who have already put in bone fragments towards this quest. And there is a very, very large list of those people. But then we can also have a look here at the gifts. Now, the gifts tell us what you actually get for donating certain amounts. So there are personal rewards. At this point in time, my next personal reward is 100 knots when I hand in 50 bone fragments. And then if we have a look down here, this is the quest progression. So this is what each user is going to get when we hit certain percentages. So when we hit 40,000, there's going to be some form of wood given to us, warm wood planks in this case. And then as we go up, these rewards are going to get bigger and bigger, and everybody who contributes is going to get all of these when the quest is over. And then there are competitive rewards, so if you're in the top 5%, top 10%, and if you're in first place, you get awesome rewards. So title scroll actually lets you add a title to your profile. Now this is the other thing I needed to show you. If I go over here and say edit profile, we've got an icon and a title now. So once you go out into worlds, you can find scrolls like these, gold crossbones, skulls, symbol scroll. You can use those and you'll get the symbol in your icons tray, and you can select that, and then as you're running around, rather than having the shield with the swirl in it, you'll have the gold crossbones or whatever you put in there. So I think all of these things are really, really cool, and they mean that you get even more character personalization than you ever did before, which is awesome. So I don't know, I really like that a lot. I think SkySaga is definitely heading in an amazing direction with all of these changes that have happened thanks to Alpha 5. So if we have a look over here, we now need to pick up a few quests from this guy. We're actually going to be able to complete all of these in this episode, and I think once I've completed these and got myself up to Explorer rank 2, I'm going to end this episode out. But to do that, I'm just going to have to go back in and complete a few more quests. So I'm going to quickly finish off all of these, and then we're going to head out into another adventure and have a look at those type of things. So we are now back here on my home island, and that means that the tutorial is actually over. The quests that I picked up aren't part of the tutorial, but we are going to run through all of these today. But if I now have a look in here, you'll see Explorer Challenge completed, so I can now take this guy. We get another crystal, and we also get another iron sword. Now this is exactly the reason why I didn't make more than one before, because I've now got 2 of them, which is perfect, and it means I can now go and run my next adventure. So I've also got a small wooden chest recipe, which is going to come in really helpful, because of course right now I'm only running with this one wooden chest, which is going to be fine for now. It's going to serve my purposes perfectly, but we're going to need to upgrade this, or we'll
start adding more of those to this island very, very soon. So right now we're going to run into the first adventure and we're going to complete all of today's quests. Perfect! Time to adventure. So we've got a caves now, which is going to be awesome. So let's take a quick look at our quests again. We're going to need 5 sky iron ore, defeat 1 wolf, and hand in 5 cotton. So I think that is going to be pretty easy to do here. So here's some cotton. Grab all of this stuff up. There's got to be a wolf around here somewhere. We're near a cave, so there's going to be a wolf somewhere. And then that will be it for this episode. I can also see another structure off in the distance. Ah, perfect. We've got a trapper's camp, so there's definitely going to be a wolf around here. We also have a friend in this world too, so there you go. Somebody else is around. And this is the thing that happens, is when you add a symbol, that symbol pops up above your head just like this. So obviously this other player is like me, they've only just got started, so they don't have extra symbols that they can use right now. So I thought that there were going to be wolves in here, but unfortunately I was mistaken, so we're going to have to go and find one of those somewhere else. So I'm going to quickly make a little bit of a cut here, and I'll show you guys when we find a wolf. Okay, and here we go. We actually have a wolf. This world has been quite busy. There was like 5 or 6 people in here earlier, which is why I didn't quite get a chance to kill one of those things until after everybody had left. Now the other quests I've got are for bones and for iron, so I'm just going to collect all of that stuff out of here. I might as well complete all of the quests I can possibly do before going home. Now, I'm not going to make you guys watch this, I will see you when we get back to my home island. So I've jumped straight back to the hub because this is where all of the action is going to go down. So as you can see up in the top corner up here when the menu goes away, I've got all 10 of my quests done. That was just because I needed to go home and collect some keystone fragments to hand in. So we're going to hand in all of these quests and I'll show you the first couple of little things that you get for leveling up the first couple of levels of both of these things. We're going to accept the community quest as well because I want to start working on collecting bone fragments. I might even start up in my Tutorial Tuesday series a little bit of a help screen for each of the community quests that happen each week because they are going to be a 1 a week thing. So if you'd like something like that, or you'd like me to even do an additional video doing a community quest help video, let me know in the comments below, because if I get enough of you asking for a separate video just in regards to the community quests, I will definitely pick that up and we can start doing that. We're now on level 2 for settlers and level 1 for explorer, and we are so close to finishing level 1 explorer. It's not funny. So let's go have a look at some of the rewards we got. So we got a large chest recipe, which is quite cool, large Yeti chest. And we also got, let's take a look, rank 1 explorer achieved. So we've got our medium keystones now. And of course, if I go out and I do another adventure, I'm going to very quickly get up to the point where I'm going to hit level 2 explorer, which will be quite nice. Oh, and I've got up to level 3 by learning that, so let's go and check out what I got for level 3 as well. So, all of this stuff, there are actually tables for this type of stuff on the wiki as well, so if you want to have a look at the wiki, I will post a link down in the description. Have a look at that. It's a great resource for SkySaga, especially when you're kind of new and you know what you're looking for maybe, but you don't know how to get it, then you can check out the wiki and get access to all that stuff. I'm just going to go over here and accept this community quest as well.
Okay, so we are back on my home island, and I've started making a few slight changes to this place already. So, as you can see, I've kind of cut up this central area. So, this little bit here was actually, it's off-center from the portal, and it gets me every single alpha. So, I decided that this time around I was going to change it right from the get-go, get rid of it, make sure that I was happy and comfortable with how this room looked. So what I'm actually planning on doing is I'm going to have a bit of a different setup this time around because I'm not going to be using this island for anything other than my home island, so I just need crafting and lots of storage here. The plan is to have our forges actually embedded in the ground here, so they're going to sit down at a lower level. So if I get this forge out, they're going to sit down here. Then we're going to have some trim around the outside. Over this side, we're going to end up with our anvils and our workbenches, and then over the other side, we're going to have our chests. And then there's also going to be kind of away from, I think, this side, we're going to go out this way, and we're going to have a keystone oven and some chests out here to hold keystones and all of that kind of stuff. So this is the plan. This is where we're going with all of this type of stuff. So I'm just going to quickly start this up. We're not going to finish this episode. We're going to put this in place, and I'm going to have a look and see how I like it. And once it's in place, we can kind of finish the episode here, and we can work on it a little bit more next time after I've used it for about a week.
So here we go. This is the outline of this room. This is what this room is potentially going to end up looking like. So we're going to have kind of wall of chests over here. We're probably going to end up with kind of 3 high and then maybe even 1 into the ground, but I don't know. To do that, I would have to move this wall of chests back by 1 so that I could have the 1 in the ground along the bottom and keep this pattern in the floor that I like so much. And then of course over here we're going to have the anvils and the workbenches stacked on top of each other like this to create another wall. Now, to do this like it is at the moment, this is going to leave some very cavernous spaces in behind here, so I'll probably end up having to build a couple of walls up in behind all of this stuff, just to kind of keep this a nice little work area and room. But like I said, this home island that I have is mine. This is not going to be ever made public or anything like this. This is just me making up an area that I quite like to help me build up all of the stuff around here. So that's it for this episode. I'm going to kind of keep working a little bit on this place, maybe between episodes, maybe not. I might end up even like changing the color scheme in around here at some point. I'm also going to keep working on getting up enough coins to build a second home island, because once I've got a second home island, we're really going to start building. Like I said, I really want to pump through and do a home island every couple of episodes. So we're going to end up doing some races and some PvP arenas and all this kind of stuff. That's all going to come very soon. We're also going to do just some show-offy type islands. I'm definitely going to rebuild my wastelands, but this time I'm going to rebuild my wastelands out on a secondary home island, and we're going to have some brown stone as our foundation, because I'm going to use a winter foundation for my secondary home island to get that stuff up and running. So yes, that is it for this episode. By the time we come back, I'll probably have a few more chests and a few more workbenches and anvils in around this area. I'll be a little bit more set up, and I can kind of talk you through where we are and what we've been doing, and then we can keep going and hopefully purchase that next home island and also move into the brand new biome for SkySaga Alpha 5, which is the jungle. So I'll see you then.